Mm,
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, all the above. Welcome back to
to
Let's Talk.
marriage. Oh my God, don't do that.
Yes,
Where
we're
we
going to do it.
speak marriage through transparency.
Transparency,
I did it. I already know that.
whatever. I'll get you next time.
So, welcome back, guys, to Let's Talk Marriage, where we speak marriage through transparency. Thank you for joining on. I keep forgetting that I have to silence my phone because if I don't silence my phone, guess what? People are going to start calling and they will see us online and still.
Try to call.
And that is crazy. That is crazy. So we are a little bit late, you guys. So sorry for being so late today. We're only late because we just we are our own producers, we're our own just
Editor.
editor, we're our own just everything. So we've been putting all this stuff together for you guys to make sure that we have the things necessary that you need in order for us to be able to come out and bring you guys the best of what we can bring you. So we're going to go ahead and get started here, but I want you guys to know where you can find us. Babe, this is usually your part here. Are you busy?
No, I'm never busy for you.
You know what? Man, keep going. Where can you find us?
We can find you on Facebook. Well,
Mhm.
you're already on Facebook right now. Um,
But we're not just on Facebook, we're on YouTube too.
YouTube,
Mhm.
iHeartRadio,
Mhm.
um, Apple Podcasts,
Mhm.
Android. I'm sorry, not Android, but Amazon Podcast,
Amazon
and what else? Spotify.
and Spotify. So, although we're looking down, we're actually paying attention because you can find us on all these other platforms. They don't see us looking down. You guys actually do. They actually just hear our voices, the people in podcast land.
Not all of them. On certain
Well,
platform, they see our face as well.
what you have it where they can see us as well?
Yeah.
You just be doing too much.
Oh, I'm on the ball, baby.
You do too much. And you be making me look like I'm crazy, like I don't know what in the world is going on sometimes. And I think I really probably don't. I probably don't know what's going on half the time. So we are actually we're waiting for a few more people to go ahead and come on in because we have a special program today. We were listening to the gentleman by the name of Vody. I want to say his last name is Brock, but it's not. But he's a pastor and he shared something on social media that is actually going viral.
Yes.
And so we want to make sure that, well, first of all, we're not going to be on here too long. We kind of just come on whenever we come on, but it is going to be every Sunday. We're trying to see, which I guess platform or which time is actually better for us. So we don't know what time, we can come on for this time, that time. It kind of just is what it is. I don't know, but
Yeah,
we're
it's based on our schedule sometimes.
yeah, sometimes it's based on our schedule. We just do what we want to do because we grown. We do what we want to do. But we also would like for people to come in and watch the show because sometimes, it's not only good for you guys, but it's good for us as well.
Yeah.
Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and go forward. And so we're going to put this video up here. And the person who actually asked us to do this goes by the name of Jessica Yates. She's actually a lawyer. We're putting a little plug in for her. She's a family attorney. So if you guys are looking for a family attorney, we can actually hook you up with one. But Jessica Yates actually sent this to us, and she thought that my husband would really like it, but she didn't know that we had already been seeing this all over. I had already sent this to him, and I was like, oh my gosh, babe, look at what this guy is saying. And not only that, we actually have our Bible.
Mm-hmm.
We have our Bible here. If you guys can hear us, go ahead and just let us know that you can hear us. Let us know that you're there as well. If you have any comments that you would like to make, please make them here. Don't be shy. Don't stay in the background. Come on in the room all the way so that you can be a part, of the show and not just, sit and just kind of, just watch in the background. But make sure that you comment, tag, like, and share. as you stay in on the show. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and just put this video up today.
Ball field, right? Are you an athlete? Were you an athlete? How far did
Hold
you
on, let
go?
me rewind it a little bit.
Everything in this list,
Cody
anyone who's
Bogman
raising a
is
son,
his
any
name.
Christian,
I'm still talking. Let me not talk over the man. Hold on.
everything in this list, anyone who's raising a son, any Christian who wants to raise a godly son, you are going to hold on to everything in this list and not pass over any stitch of it. This is the list, which means, young men, hear me. If you want to see what it looks like and what you need to prepare for in order to be a godly man and a godly husband and a godly father who shepherds his family, this is what you pay attention to. This is what you pursue. If you're raising a young man, this is the standard to which we call him. And it's incredibly important because if we don't, the world has a standard. Men want to know each other. Within seconds, it's what's your job, which is code for how much money you make. It's the billfold. We're measuring ourselves against one another, right? How successful are you? Then there's the ball field, right? Are you an athlete? Were you an athlete? How far did you go? How good were you? And in the bedroom, conquests with women. That's how the world defines manhood. So our sons are out there in that world and they're hearing that over and over and over again. This is how you're a man. This is how you measure yourself against other men. And if we don't have anything else to offer, what they're going to have is the billfold, the ball field, and the bedroom with the Bible on top of it. And that dog won't hunt.
All right. Well, that was a lot. You know, that was a lot to take in and to hear. But I want to know your thoughts on this, babe. You know, what Pastor Vody says about being a man and also parenting a man child. You know, we have one man child, and he is definitely, he has both of us. He has my mouth and your mouth, but he also has your strength. He has your courage. He has your ability to lead, and he does not. I watch how he doesn't second guess himself, and how he really is, you know, showing up in the world. But he also is, you know, a little sensitive and things like that, and that's, you know, that comes from me. But how do you see this video? What did you gain, or what did you get from this video?
Well, number one is even when he said the first thing he said is how we measure each other. Most men compare themselves to any other man that's around them, or compares themselves. So for me, I try my best to be the best example for my son that he compares himself to, not other men, because every man don't have the same statue I have, or values I carry for my son. So by me standing up, being the father that I am today, and trying my best to be the statue that he's need to look at,
Imitate
imitate,
or emulate.
emulate, it helps him know what kind of man he's going to be. So he don't have to measure himself to somebody else that is not even on the same level he in. He measures himself with me. Daddy, I'm getting strong. Yes, because you want to be just as strong as I am. Daddy, I'm getting smart because you want to be just as smart as I am, or better. So for me, yes, I think that's important for every father to be that statue that the son should look at and say, that's what I want to be like.
You know, so I'm reading, it's in Titus chapter 1, and it talks about, I guess, if a person wants to be um, a bishop. And I see so many people that are running to want to be a bishop and all these particular things and all these, you know, but the Bible tells us of what we can and what we can do, and who we should be and who we should not be, and how we should govern ourselves as we walk this thing called life and Christianity, or having relationship with God. And one of the things here that it says specifically for the men is that if any man be blameless, the husband of one wife, having faithful children, not accused of riot or unruly. So, you know, one of the things I can say, you know, as for this house, you know, the children can never say that you were harsh with them. And if you had to be, or if you had to raise your voice, it was always because it was needed and they understood. It was never like, oh my God, daddy is going crazy in the house. It was always because it was something that was needed. I'm the one that's usually always yelling and all this stuff. So it's like they're not really receptive to everything I'm saying.
Oh,
But when you speak, I see where the children is, and this is good too, because it's sometimes like when a man, not sometimes, but all the time, if there is a strong man in the house, the children will always, and the wife should as well, always become subjected unto the leadership and the direction of that set man that is in the house. If he is leading well, even according to Titus, I got my paper Bible out. I got my hardback. I don't have my phone. I have my hardback that I'm reading from, and this is the King James version. So Titus 1 and 6, and then I go to 7. It says, "For a bishop must be blameless as the steward of God, not self-willed, not soon angry, not given to wine, not striker." Okay? They don't want you to be a brawler
mm-hmm.
or given to filthy lucre or wine or filthy wine or lucre is the word lucre or however you want to pronounce it, but a lover of hospitality, a lover of good men, sober, just, holy, and temperate, holding fast the faithful word as he has been taught, that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers or the opposition. So this is saying to me that the man would need to be able to have wisdom in order to be able to encounter those things that may come against him.
Makes sense to me. You know, when you look at it, only way we get that is because we come together and sharpen each other. That's why it's important for good men to come together and help each other to father a son.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why it's good to have grandparents that is wise to impart take to something to the grandkids. Um, Things like that. You know, have good friends that understand the manhoodship of life.
Mm-hmm.
So when your son come around, he don't feel you don't have to say no, 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 don't say this, no, 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 don't say this, no.
Mm-hmm.
You can say whatever you want to say because I know you're gonna say it out of respect and out of honor at the same time. Because same way I need my son to honor me, I have to honor him as well.
Oh, you got to say that because some people don't know how to show honor to their children. They think that, when they speak, what they say goes and that is it. So, can you explain how you show honor to
Well,
the kids?
sometimes I tell my son, come here, young man. I don't say come here, boy. Come here, young man. I speak to him the way I want him to address me. And sometimes I even say yes, sir, or no, sir. And I even tell him sometimes we sit down and have good conversation as if I want him to perceive me as well. Because I don't want my son to grow up and think that it's okay to talk any kind of way. I talk to him like he's a man.
Mm-hmm.
So when he get older, he know how to perceive and how to address a man. You shake a man, you look a man in the eye, you don't look away. Because nowadays I know there's a lot of young men when begin to speak to them, they look away. Why are
Mm-hmm.
you looking away for? No, let me know I got your attention as well. You won't need me to know that you have my attention. That's some type of form of respect. Look a man in the eye. You shake a man's hand with a firm handshake. You don't give me a wet whistle handshake shake. It's like, come on now. I'm not shaking my wife's hand. I'm shaking your hand. So it's like for me showing honor to him and even showing him how to I respect his mother and vice versa, help him to understand when he get married or get his wife how to respect her. Because I believe I need to be the example.
I'm sorry.
I need to be the example of what a man is and going to be in his life so he know how to be a man himself.
I apologize for the echo. You're absolutely right. I apologize for the echo. I was, at least I know that people can hear us.
And it's clear.
And it's clear. So there's this woman that's on social media. I wish I had downloaded that, but I'll post that later. And she said that single women raise the worst children.
Ooh, I heard the same thing too.
Now, I'm going to ask. Now, this is this. I just sprung this on you. We did not discuss this.
Go ahead, shoot.
I want to know, do you agree with that?
In many ways, yes.
How? And be gentle.
Look where I work at.
Well, okay. Well, explain that to the people.
So almost 80% of the men that is locked up come from a single family home, broken home, I call it. And I hear women always argue, there's no good man. I had an argument with a nurse, but I had a discussion with a nurse. She's going down and said, ain't no good man out there. They don't know how to do nothing. I said, well, ma'am, you can't say that because I'm a man and I do everything I need to do for my wife. And then some. Can you cook? I could cook. Can you wash? I could wash clothes. I could change tires. I could change oil. I could change brakes. If I could put a wall, I could do whatever I need to do that my wife required me to do. I know somewhere how to do it. Or if I don't, I know how to get somebody to do it.
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, you only a few of them. I said, that's a lot of them out there, but we just don't see them. But the problem is you angry because you keep on running to garbage. Well, there ain't no good man out there because, if man stand up be a man. I said, oh, man said be a man do what? And raise their sons. I said, but if the woman allow him to raise the sons, be better. I said, because you get mad about your son, these men out there, but who raising these sons? Because the father got nothing to do with these sons at all. 9 times 10, don't say that to my young man. That's my son. Who the heck you think you are? No, that's our son. And I need to have some part in my son's life so you know how to conduct yourself. So you won't walk around be emotional train wreck. Most young men that's locked up because they are emotional train wreck. They have some type of mental state, mental condition about them, and I say train wreck. It's literally sad to see a grown man sit there and cry about his father, and they 30 or 40 something years old, and they locked up. Most young men don't meet their father until they get to prison. Most young men don't even know who their father is. I got a loved one of mine cries that he still don't know who his father is. He asked his mother on her dying bed. She still didn't tell who the father is. And he's an emotional train wreck. So you're telling me that a woman could do a good job. Please tell me, what do you know about me that you can impart to a young man?
Now, I don't think that it should be a general statement. There are some women who are raising good men, so they're doing a good job. Now this is why I'm going to tell you that don't do that because your mother raised you.
But she allowed good men to partake in
But did she not? But they were not with you all the time.
They was not with me, but she allowed men to come into my life to take something in me. She allowed men because she knew she couldn't do it on her own. And she even said it in one of her sermons that she knew because she kept on saying, she said, the Lord came to her and said, May, yes, Lord. Are you not, did you not say that you are your mother, you are your children's mother and father? Yes, Lord, I sure did. Yes, Lord, hallelujah. Well, let me ask you a question. When a young man grow up and say you want to be like his father, most of young men grow up and say they want to be like his father. Yes, Lord, yes, Lord. Don't they imitate their father? Yes, Lord, yes, Lord. But when you say you're your child mother and father, now when the child grows up and be like my mother, how can he imitate his mother? So she said, "Oh my goodness, I'm messing my kids up." So since then, what she did was she'll find a deacon and have them come pick us up, take us to the park, do different things with. She'll find different brothers or uncles come pick me up and show us different things. I had my Uncle Raymond, I had my Uncle Lindsay, I had my Uncle Ricky. I had certain uncles that I knew that I could trust with information and could help me and guide me on how to be that man. So she didn't just tell me how to be a man. She allowed men to come in and tell me how to be that man.
See, now, are we saying that women are telling men how to be men,
Yeah.
because there's no way, like for me, I can't tell my son how to be a man. I don't know how, but I can show him what I would want from a man. Is
And
that not something that I could
but
show
I
him?
don't think that's good.
How is that not good? How could
Because
I
that's
not
what
show
you
him?
want.
Well, yeah, it would be what
But
I
every woman
want.
is not you.
Every woman isn't, but does not every woman want at least a man to be kind, to be
Okay.
gentle? The Bible teaches us
But
how,
okay,
right?
okay.
So, but the only good thing is now I'm not saying that I'm completely right, because I don't know. If y'all could jump in on this topic here, it would be really, really nice. Y'all are just sitting in the background, y'all are just quiet. Y'all come on in the room. Let us know what you think about this topic. So I can't really speak too much on that because you are active in our kids' life.
Correct.
So I really can't say yes or no. I don't want to
Okay.
see myself raising. Hey, Sean, I don't want to see myself raising my son alone. And so the good thing is Sean jumped in, right?
Uh-huh.
If something were to happen to you, and God forbid, I know that I can say, because this is our
But
son's
that's another
godfather,
man that you're gonna allow to come in to help
because I know
guide.
I can't do it by
Correct.
myself. So now, of course, I know you feel like, oh, I'm just answering your thing, but isn't that not a good way to raise my son, to say, hey, I'm going to allow? They're not going to fully
I'm not
raise
saying
them,
that's
right?
not a good thing. That's an excellent thing. But then you have a point where you have some women that would not allow a man to teach their sons nothing.
Well, then those are the women maybe that the lady is talking about, because generally speaking, so to raise a son, thinking about it, if you're allowing another man to come in to help, a good man, a good godly man, or just a man that you know, he may not even serve the Lord, but you know he's a good man, right?
Correct.
If you're allowing this good man to come in and at least say, hey, can you help my son, with some men things that I don't understand, and this, that, and the other, that's raising the child in a good way, is it not?
That's raising a
Because,
child.
well, hold on, let me finish my thought. You and I are raising our son together. If you were not in the picture, I would have to raise him alone, correct?
Correct.
So I would have to ask other men to come in. They're not raising him, they are helping.
Partake something into your son. Correct.
They are helping, they're not raising.
I know that. Correct.
Y'all got to come in here, because
See, but what you're missing is when it comes to a point where a woman literally like a great example, when I came on one night and look up and I saw Israel sitting on the toilet to take a pee.
I didn't teach him that. Your son is lazy. I just want you to know that.
Whatever. You were like, no, I told him to sit on the toilet because I don't want. Let
so
me
that he
finish.
could poop.
So no. So he would have pee all the toilet stool.
That's not why. It's so that he could poop. You can't stand up to poop.
No, that's not true. When I got up and I asked him, he said, "Well, told me this."
That's a lie. Your son is crazy. I didn't teach him to sit down. We had the Cheerios and everything, but he was urinating all over my seat.
There we go. Nah, thank you. And all he had to do wipe the seat up, right?
Listen,
if a man don't learn how to clean his mess up, how do you know how to do anything else?
Well, you had to show him that. You said you came in and you said,
and I had to,
"Don't you teach my son to sit down to pee?"
Thank you.
And I was like, "Okay, well, fine."
There's a lot of stuff I had to stop you from trying to teach our son.
Listen, Sean says that you have to have discernment and you have to have trust. So I agree with that.
Yeah,
when it comes to bringing people in your life,
you have to be able to have somebody that you could trust to help guide your child, to be some type of role model. I'm not saying any man can be a role model, because I'm sorry, there's some men out there that should not even you think about having no children, should not even be around children at all. And God knows some of them just they are despicable. And I could honestly say that. But
that's why you got to be careful of your godparents.
But when you begin to really look at all your life, a lot of the young men that you have seen that have single mom, that grew up in a single home, how do you act?
Well, all of them are not.
Not all of them.
Bad.
No. I'm talking.
We can't generalize.
I'm not generalizing the one that's bad. I mean, good. I'm talking the one that's bad.
But so ask your question again. Maybe I'm losing my thought.
Out of all the ones that was horrible, that was a nightmare on M Street.
They're raised by single mothers. Some of them are, yes.
Okay, now the ones that was raised, that was horrible, that was raised with their father and mother, it wasn't that. They was somewhat stomach, but you understand that they had some mental issues sometimes. They have some drug abuse issues or some type of issue. But what I'm saying is, we cannot sit here and honesty and say that, oh no, I believe a child need a balanced life. I mean, I cannot raise my son by myself. I need you regardless. 'Cause I need to show him some type of example how to treat a woman.
So why do you think, and this is just coming from a male's point of view, ladies, those of you who are in the background still and are afraid to come on in, we see you there. Y'all come on in the room. So then what do you say to the single mothers? Well, Sean already said that it takes, it takes trust, and you have to have discernment, right?
Right.
So what do you say to these women who are um, not allowing? Because then it goes back to um, not only the trust, but trusting the man that they chose to have the baby with, trusting this man to be the father that he needs to be in his son's life, because they chose, some of these women chose some men that are just outlandish, right? So they chose some really just raunchy men, and then they take their sons away and they say that they can do a better job. What do you say to those women that have men that are around that are may not be so good?
Well, there's many different examples of that. The thing is they need to find some type of way to have somebody that could come into your life. You have I know somebody right now, they have their sons and they sit there and watch their sons, the man they with, sits there all day long, look at, sports and do not pay nobody no attention. No family members. Basically everybody growing up around him and trees growing up around him, and he not noticing nothing because he looking at sports, ESPN, all the sun up, sundown. He want his beer. He want to look at, and he not even paying attention to his wife.
Mm.
And now his son or the young lady son needs some type of guidance. She literally had to go outside the home to get some type of guidance for her son. So she had put him in football and hoping the football coach would be some type of a role model. But the problem with a lot of the football coach, they are, I hate to say, raunchy themselves.
Oh man, that's why we took our son out of football.
You know,
Those man, I was like, oh no,
I had to
no,
tell
no,
one
no.
football coach, I said, oh man, these children, you got to cuss them out like that, you know?
They were just
And,
what,
and,
4 and 5.
and then on top of it, you also look at them and, if the parents single, they want to try to sleep with the parents. It's like, God, dog, where can I see my son to a safe a refuge where they could get some type of guidance and not worry about them even getting sleep with because the coach is
Yeah,
slept with, because the coach have some type of whatever I'm looking for,
pedophilia.
pedophilia inside of him.
Hmm.
Or I can't send him to over here because maybe uncle might want to touch him. It's like it's no safe ground for our sons. And when you finally find that safe ground, it's kind of hard to reach them because they had their own responsibility.
So let's go to the comments here. We have two. We have one from Sean. Sean is actually our son's godfather. If like I said, God forbid, because I love my husband.
I ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere. But Sean is very active in our children's lives. He is a wonderful godparent, and a really another great man. Aside from my husband, he now has his own family and things like that. Now he's married, and
So his hand is full.
his hands are full. But he's always been just an amazing, just amazing man, and I'm glad he's settled down and got him a nice little wife. So the biggest thing he says is that they have to trust in God to be a buffer, to be the buffer. That discernment will help with that, but it's a hard thing to do. It's not hard to have discernment. I think that people don't want to, they want to be rebellious, and they go with, and I've learned this from my husband, and Sean, you know how I was before, being emotional. Kind of stops a lot of that when you're working out of your emotion all the time. But you're right as well when you say that's why we need God. So we have another male on here, which is great. You look like you men are showing up tonight. Elder McDuffie, he says, okay, y'all, I'm listening. I think if a woman had a father in her life who was a father and raised her, she would have some characteristics that could help her raise, I guess that can help her raise the man, or wait a minute, that can help her.
Mhm.
Wait a minute, that could help her, but the man is important. I guess what he's saying is that the her father would have given her some particular characteristics of himself or shown her some particular things. I'm going to agree with that because,
And I guarantee that father will be in the, and be active person in their life as well.
well, so
Like most grandfathers, like I'm gonna give you a good
you
example.
got to talk in that mic so
Like
folks can hear you because you know
like
your voice is
your
deep in their
grandfather,
ears.
he's like my grandfather as well.
Oh, I hate that.
So it's like for me, I could still go to him and talk to him about certain things
Yeah,
and get some
you
type of
can.
advice
That's my
from him.
granddaddy, though.
And but I understand, but he's mine. I married into him as well. Uh, but you say I do, he came my granddaddy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, even a woman understand that I could teach him so much, but I need somebody to teach him how to be that particular man. Because the way a man think, a woman cannot even imagine. I cannot imagine how my wife think. I'll probably go crazy trying to think like her and think like myself too.
What,
So
don't I have a
I
shirt that says be careful because I'm gonna overthink this?
so the way a man think, the way a man speak, the way a man walk, a woman cannot imitate it. And if you're trying to imitate it, to me, she misunderstood it because she's gonna overdo it. Same with a man. Every time you see a man try to imitate a woman, he always overdo it.
Mhm.
To the fact is, it's almost confusing. It's like, what is going on here?
Right.
So, yes, I believe, yeah, she could impart take some things to him, but that particular thing that makes him a man, need a man there.
Okay, now I agree with that because because dealing with therapy, working with a lot of men, and like my husband was saying earlier, to hear a man cry for their father is is the most heartbreaking thing you could ever want to hear, right?
Correct.
So, I wasn't raised with my dad, and I was just a completely just a hellish woman. But I do thank God for the men that were in my life that said to me, "You need to make sure that you calm down because you didn't have your dad, but you there's some things that you don't know about a man."
Correct.
So with the men that I work with, they usually they cry out for their fathers. I can only take them so far as a female, but I bring in other men to do some mentoring. I'll bring my husband in. There's another man that we know, Minister Lionel. He's actually come to some groups that I've had before, and other men that I know that I just bring in to come and speak to these men because a woman can take a man only but so far. Like with my son, I think he's really smart. He's busy, but I can only I can do the nurturing and all those particular things, but it takes another man. When my husband speaks, I can almost see my son if he's going off or doing some silly stuff, around the corner or aside from me or in my face. And if he sees or he can smell my husband's cologne coming around the corner, immediately he straightens up. There is a difference
Correct.
between a man's authority and a woman's authority. I can almost never like my son, he plays on me because I love him so much, and but my husband can correct those things, and sometimes I go overboard. I'm like, he's like, hey, he's being a boy right now. Let him just, he ain't doing nothing. You need to just calm down, because sometimes I can be a little bit much. But I do know that the authority of a man allows another man to say, even the man child to say, I can do this because my father has given me
Yes.
permission. This is a biblical thing
Yeah.
too. I can do this because my father,
Correct.
who is in heaven,
Mhm.
has given me permission to have this authority.
When I even look at the animal kingdom, I would tell my wife about lions. The lioness, she go out there and do all the hunting. She do all the working. I ain't say, man, you don't work. You get your butt up and work. But the lioness go out there and work.
Hmm.
But the lion himself sit there and watch over them while they hunt.
Hmm.
They're like, why don't he? Lion lazy. He's not lazy. He preserving his energy for attack mode.
Mhm.
So when the lion come at, the cubs come and pull on the lion ear, they're all playing with the lion, and he just still sit there. He does not move. He sit there at a post, at attention. Then they bring the meat in, the lion watch bring the meat in, they eat, he eat whatever left over, and he still sit there at attention. Then when something take place about to come and interrupt the herd or the family,
Mhm.
he gets something he good at. He give it that big war.
Mhm.
And the sad funny thing about when you look at the animal kingdom, when he does the war, the trees start to shake, the grass is shaking, everything running away real fast. Like, oh no, he don't woken up. Somebody who woke up the beast?
Yeah.
Because he understands his authority when he opened his voice. He don't have to open his voice, but when it's necessary. And most men, they speak too much, and they speak with their authority, or they don't know how to speak at all, so they don't have no authority to speak upon.
Oh wow.
So when you look at that aspect of life, most men don't even know how to speak like a man with authority because they never had nobody to teach them what it is for a man to have authority.
Oh, okay.
Then they get mad. Oh, my mama told me I'm a man. She did. How?
What makes you a
What
man?
makes you a man?
Yeah.
Because when you look at a lot of things in life, a thief nor a thief,
Mhm.
a killer nor a killer, a woman nor a woman. Why not a man nor a man? So if I don't see a man in you, why should I recognize you as a man when you don't have the attribute of a man?
Mhm.
You still acting like a child that's trying to get my attention to recognize you as a man. I say you stand up and be that man.
Mm.
So that's why I said it's important for women to allow a good man to help mentor their sons.
Mhm.
Because that's the only way a good woman could get a good man nowadays. Because now I'm gonna hate to say, a lot of young men scares me. Even for my daughter, I'm scared for my daughter because a lot of my speech, I'm like, oh my goodness, their father. Who your father is again? Oh my goodness. But when you speak to them, their head is on their shoulders, but they missing that one point that makes them full.
But I mean, they're young.
They're
And
young, but it's also important to recognize it. So for me, when I see that one point missing, guess what I do? I try to impart taking something
that's what
inside
I
of
was
them.
going to say. You can impart that into them because they don't have.
And I tell a lot of them, I
Yeah.
said, listen, I'm gonna part this inside of you just in case. So even if you're not with my daughter, you could be a good man to somebody else's daughter.
This is true. This is true. Well, Jessica put here, she said, a lot of these grandfathers, this going back to your grandfather story, my grandfather, your grandfather. A lot of these grandfathers are really stepping up for these kids, especially the boys when dads are absent. I also believe that although a woman may have some characteristics from her father to pass to a boy, she likely also acknowledges that an actual man is still necessary to raise a son. So yeah, that's what we're saying here. Like we have some things that we can download into our young men, but it is going to take a good man to be able to impart some things to help him to be a full-blown man. And then, the thing is that we're all still yet learning.
Yes.
We're still learning. That's why, I love the elders when they say, keep on living, baby, keep on living. Because if we can look to the elders, they will still teach us some things if we'll listen. And I'm not talking about a foolish man. I'm talking about some real wise elders and some real wise women that are out there, and they will teach you, some different things as you continue to keep on living. So we just got to keep living.
Well, the problem is some of them are dead, dead men walking.
Who's a dead man walking?
But I mean, they are walking dead.
Who, baby?
It's a lot of people, a lot of men out there, a lot of people out there is walking dead. As men, as internal, they are dead. They don't want that input. They don't want no guidance. They all their life is just like they just was born to die. And it's sad to say that when I even at work, when I look at them, I just see death all over them. It is almost sad, and it make my heart weep because it's like weep. Even if I want to try to impart, they not open to hear. So when a young man's not open up to hear, what am I supposed to do?
Well, I mean, you have your own son, and
Oh
there
no,
are
no.
men
My son
who,
gonna hear me, whether
well,
he wants to or not.
but there are men who are called to you. There's some men that you do
And though the one I
speak
speak to,
to. Yeah.
there are no one I speak to. But the ones that's literally the walking dead, I have to separate them from them.
Well, your job is not to talk to everybody.
Oh no.
God sends you the right people that, you will and impart things to and impart wisdom to. That's the whole point of keep on living.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have this gray hair for nothing. We just continue to keep on living. These are just our experiences and our opinions. It doesn't mean that we're right or that we're wrong.
Yeah. Because some people
It,
might see it different.
yeah, some people may see it different. And this is the reason why we do this particular platform. We want you guys to come on in because we learn just as much as you guys may be learning. I don't think anybody has all the answers. Only God has all the answers. And we're here, we're still learning, we're still yet moving, we're still yet trying and striving to be better. We are perfectly imperfect. We're imperfect people trying to walk a perfect path.
Yeah.
And so, but we're perfectly imperfect for each other.
Yes, we are
You know,
very perfect for each other.
so it's not something that is you kind of just go day by day with this whole thing.
That's why, Paul said, I die daily.
Mm-hmm.
Every day we wake up, we have to, something about us have to die so we can begin to live. Pastor McDuffie was talking about the seed, planting the seed. When I think about the
In
seed,
service this morning, yeah.
The seed have to peel its shell back.
Mm-hmm.
If the seed never peel its shell back, it's dead. It cannot die fully. It's just sitting there, useless.
He was talking about
So
circumcision.
no, he's talking the seed too.
Yeah.
Once you
Yeah.
put the seed inside the inside the
Soil.
soil,
Mm-hmm.
and the soil kill the seed, the shell around the seed, it peels back and begin to blossom.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is a lot of men have that shell that's like a tank. It cannot be breaking. It cannot be broken over. It is like they are in a position where it calls them can't grow because there's no soil to help them break the shell open. And they've been in the sun so long till they got hardened.
Mm-hmm.
Till even what's inside that shell have died
Mm-hmm.
because there's no life left inside of it. But at the same time, that don't mean there's no hope for them. It just need a point where they need to be in a position where they begin to get broken.
Yeah, that's what Elder McDuff. If you still on here, we were listening today. We were on the front row this morning.
Yeah, she put me on the front row, so you gonna listen. You might even nod off.
Well, you had you some rest last
Oh
night.
yeah, I was home.
You had you some rest last night. I hope you guys are liking this show this evening. We came on. We don't know what time is a good time to come on. You guys are kind of fickle back out there. You guys are not diehard members just yet, but we would like for you to be. You can go on to YouTube and you can hit subscribe and make sure that you tag somebody in this. Y'all have 3 people that you can tag that will love to listen to this show. You can like it and you can share it. Share it with somebody. Don't hide me and hide him, all to yourself. Share
In
us
your
with
back
somebody.
pocket.
Yeah, don't put us in your back pocket. Y'all come on in the room and share and like and tag and comment and make your comments and everything known. We like I said again, we don't know everything. But what we do know,
We know.
we know and we do know that God is good. And all the time, God is good. But we were on that front row today, and I'm telling you, he talked about circumcising even your heart, and that it is hard for some people to do that.
Because they never had nobody to help them. For me, I had you. For you, you had me.
Oh,
So
you're
we was
so sweet.
oh, here we go with that. But we was able to help each other to break out that shell
Mm-hmm.
to begin to grow. I believe some men need a nice or a good spiritual woman that have God in her life as well as he do to help break him out that shell. Most men don't understand what it is to be broken out of the shell because they think they out the box. Come on now. You haven't went inside the soil yet.
Mm-hmm.
Until you get inside the soil to die, to grow, you can't.
Wow. Wow. We had a lot of breaking that we needed to do. And, God has hidden us under his shadow. And I'm telling you, this has been a great place for us to be because, the woman that you guys see before you today, I wasn't always like this. And we really had to go through some circumcising. God had to clean up my heart, and he's still yet cleaning me up and making me better, a better version for myself, for my children, for my husband, and a better version to be able to go out and speak, to the people that are out there who actually would need the things that I have to give. And the same
Yeah.
with him, because I'm not called to everybody, but
No.
the people that I am called to, God knows who they are, and I have to be ready.
Correct. Correct.
We have to be
Because
ready.
we all have been charged, like my wife said, we all have been charged with somebody that we need to speak to or help
Mhm.
out. But how do you know that if you don't allow the discernment of God to touch your heart?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that if you don't allow God to begin to prune you and begin to groom you to the point? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, if you plant a rose in your yard and never take care of it, never prune it, never pluck the dead leaf off, it would die.
Mm-hmm.
Give it the right amount of sun to make sure that's not overwatered. It will begin to die because why it's not
So,
being
in
taken
other
care of.
words, you're saying that you have to nurture whatever it is that you get.
Yes, you gotta nurture.
So you got to be like that. Now, before we say this part, y'all go ahead and if you have any more comments, questions, or concerns, please put it in the chat box here, and we'll talk about that. But then it sounds like what you said about uh, Dr. Miles Monroe. He said, whatever whatever it is that you don't see in your wife, it is your fault. Now y'all can go and this
That's right. Amen. You
because
tell the
you
truth.
have to cultivate those things that you want to see, and it goes back to what you're saying, what you want to see growing out of that woman.
But the problem is, how do you expect to see it grow out of her if you have not put it in her?
Well, that's the same thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So that means that the man would need to have a vision, because
Yeah, now you talking.
so women, we're not gonna just, we'll follow you, but we're not gonna follow anything.
You better not.
So once you have don't do this today. We're trying to be good.
We are being good.
Okay. So if you don't have a vision, we will fail as a family. One of the things, like I wanted to go to school. I didn't know what I would go to school for, but my husband put me through school.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did he put me through school, but our business stuff, he works really hard. We work so hard for everything that we have. And the thing is that the things that he wanted to see grow, it was already there. And sometimes as women, we don't see it ourselves. Our spouses can see it, just like we can see those godly things in our spouses. So we're supposed to be helping and motivating one another to get to the next level. There's no selfishness in this. We can keep going, but I think I'm gonna digress because it's already 7:23. What time did we start? 6:30.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to be on time to get off this live because we'll end up doing 2 hours, and it is not gonna happen today.
No.
We can save that for another time.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about cultivate later on.
Well, no, I mean, we can finish cultivating and then we can get on off this live. So Dr. Miles Monroe, talking about cultivation, he was saying that, sometimes the things that you want, like if you have a woman that is not the size that you want to be, but you go and you work out and you exercise and you do all these particular things, why won't you take your wife out there and teach her how to work out and say, and cultivate, that woman, cultivate those things that you want to see. She's not eating healthy, cultivate, that, get in there and cook some meals. I do not cook for myself. I am a little thick because he's been cooking some. Oh man,
we both thick.
He's been eating, but I'm okay with my little thickness that I got.
I like it.
But if it gets too out of hand, we know how to put ourselves.
No, it's a gym that's here. We'll go to that
gym.
We
know how to put ourselves on a fast. Yeah. But he has cultivated those things that I thought they were not there. And it's really the encouraging, the motivating, the saying, baby, you can do it, and the praying for me that really pushed me out and made me want to be a better version of me to be to him. So I had to go to God and I had to seek God and say, God, teach me how to speak to my husband. Teach me how to speak sweet things to him. Teach me how to motivate him to be in your word and to do the things that you've designed for him to do.
I had a young man that had somebody ask me, say, when do a woman know you have a vision? I say the thing is, you have to let her know. You have to talk to the person you're with. You know, a woman should not agree to somebody that have nothing to offer her. Why should I go out on dinner with a young lady? Why should I take a young lady out for dinner and I can't pay for the meal? Why
Well,
should
I mean,
no, listen to me
okay,
very carefully, please.
okay, I'm gonna listen.
We on our first date and I really want to take you out, but I haven't even prepared myself to show you what I could offer you.
Mm.
We get to the dining room table, my conversation is blank. We get to the car, you open your own car doors. I'm showing you that I can't even lead you to your door. We get to your house door, and I can't even take you to walk to your own front door. I have not even a vision to protect you in the beginning. So how can I have a vision to have anything with you? And that's what a lot of young men missing. The little things that we do, even on when we cultivate, when we dating a young lady, basically meet her at the door, let her know that you will come to her. And and her father opened the door, her mother opened the door. Yes, I'm here to get Taisha. Oh, how you doing? Yes, I'm here to take your daughter out for a date. Okay, no problem. Then I watch you walk down the stairs, and you don't even open the gate for her. She had to open her own gate. Matter of fact, you open the gate and walk down and close the gate back. She had to open her own gate.
You walk out the gate and then close.
Then turn around. You get in the car, crank the car up, and somebody hurry up.
Mm-hmm.
Now she got to open her own door.
But see, let me read this, and then I'm gonna tell you that there are women who will still date that.
Oh, I
So,
know that. They like that type of men.
so Elder McDuffie says here, he says, okay, I agree with that, that to a point. But a man need a man to learn how to emotionally mature. Yeah, he said that, Elder, that a man needs to know how to express themselves to someone that can understand him. Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
well said.
We agree with that. We agree with that. But then, uh, I guess I wish we had the phone line actually working here. Don't
Yeah.
so that we can bring you online so that you can clarify this just a little bit more so we can understand fully
Are saying.
what you're saying here, because I think like with us, because you said that I was able to help like break some things in you and you were able to break some things in me. I think that's what he's going back to, because sometimes these messages come in a little late.
You know,
But with us saying that, it is mostly where you got to go back to some old videos so you can hear our story of how God had to, how He brought us together, and why we are the way that we are now. We were literally made for each other. I truly believe that with every fiber of my being, that I was, taken from your rib, like I fit in you.
I believe every argument we had to have. Every incident we had in our marriage, we had to have to help us become a stronger individual for each other. Um, I didn't say everybody got to go through issues, no, but we had to go through what we had to go to. Because when I look back at our marriage, I'm like, wow, if this didn't happen, she probably wouldn't she probably wouldn't have done this. So a lot of things gave her a prep to do more, and vice versa, myself as well. Because even when at the end, I told my wife, I said, it's time for us to elevate each other. Well, then that we did. We literally elevate each other to a point where we begin to do more. We began to do more, began to do more. And now to the fact is we don't have to encourage each other. We just speak to each other and we do it. We love each other.
Yeah.
And and then in turn, it give our son,
I put the music on
I
you.
saw that. It give our son, you know, a reason to continue on to be the man he's going to be.
Right.
Because he had the perfect example of what a mother and father is, which in turn show him how to be a husband to his wife.
I agree. I agree. We are getting close to the
Time
time.
and time for us to
You
check out.
guys have been all that and a bag of chips today. Sean, I will not go vegan because I like to eat too much chicken. I like fried chicken. I like boiled chicken. I like chicken and rice. I
You
like baked
steak.
chicken. I like steak. I like all that. I like all that. I like all of that. Last comment here. Sean says here, he said, exactly. The trials help to make you both who you are today, in addition to the prayers of those that love you. Oh, Sean, you've been praying for us. I don't even believe it. Now that you're now you're a power couple and you invest in each other, speaking from a interested party. Yes, Sean has seen us grow from low to where we are now. And I
Correct.
won't even say that we're just high. We're definitely
Yeah.
better than we was
Much better.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
So Sean, you saw a lot. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. I see why you get gray hair.
I see where he got. Yes, he got gray hairs from us. So he said, behave yourself. People are watching. Yeah, they see us. We
We
got
know.
to be our full, authentic selves. If we're not, then
Oh well.
I just don't know what to tell you. Anywho, guys, well, we love you all with the love of the Lord. Y'all make sure that y'all continue to follow us on all social platforms.
Yes, please.
Baby, can you please tell them again where they can find us?
Well, YouTube podcast. We have Amazon Podcasts. We have Apple Podcasts. We have Spotify. We have what else? Oh, iHeartRadio. Almost all social media. Facebook, Instagram. What else? Even TikTok.
Now, I don't even want to fool with TikTok, but
I
if
don't
you
either.
ever see me on TikTok, it's because my daughter done put us on there.
Yes, she hijacked our phone.
So, but other than that, you can find us on all other social platforms except for TikTok. Every now and then we might be. But it is 32 minutes past the hour, and it is time for us to go. We thank you guys for joining in today, and we want to make sure. Oh, yeah, and we're on Spotify, Sean. Thank you. We want to make sure that you guys know that where we are, so that when you are even driving in your car, you can listen to us. Sometimes we have some really good shows, and other times, we may not, but
Just being honest.
but we still, we still try. We still come out here. We do the best that we can from just our point of view. So today was a really good day today, and I really appreciate you guys for coming in.
Yes.
And so we love you guys with the love of the Lord. And you continue to pray for us as we continue to pray for you. And if all hearts and minds are clear, I think that's it, right?
Yes, and be blessed, y'all.
All right, y'all make sure that y'all be blessed. Don't hurt nobody, Sean. You make sure that you treat your wife right. You just got married. Make sure that you do what you're supposed to do.
God watching you.
Because God watching you. All right, guys, y'all stay prayerful. Thank you.